right when people started to say Kelce's a future Hall of Famer. So probably 2020-ish, 2021-ish, maybe even 2022 after the Super Bowl. And I said, really? Is he really a Hall of Famer? Because they don't put a lot of centers in the Hall of Fame. They haven't, historically. And the ones who are in there, have ridiculous resumes from an all-pro perspective, which is very important for these voters. I think it was Jason Cole specifically, because I asked him, I don't know. I mean, the first part of his career was not great.
But the
And I
back
said,
half.
and I asked him that specific question. I said, is he a slam dunk for the Hall of Fame? And this is, I guess and he said yes. So
I had a couple of them. I put up his stats compared to other centers. I wrote an article about it, and like people blew it up. Like even a couple Hall of Fame voters, they're like, "Look, he's with this guy and this guy, Jim Otto, Bulldog Turner, Mike Webster. Like these are it." And like, look, I my dad's friend played for the Steelers in the 70s. He played with Mike Webster on the same offense as Mike Webster. Knew him very well. Unfortunately, they're both not with us anymore. But look, Jason Kelce might be better than Mike Webster, which is kind of nuts.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
I do probably because they're legendary. I know the Hall of Fame's Pro Football Reference has the Hall of Fame monitor, and they rate him Kelce 5th, which is pretty good.
Yeah,
he's behind
really
Dawson, Jim Otto, Mike Webster, Dwight Stevenson. Who from people I've talked to, they would put Dwight Stevenson number 1. But maybe didn't play as long.
Dawson was a really good player too.
Yeah. And then Kelce's 5 ahead, and he's ahead of Kevin Mawe, Jim Langer, Mick Tingelhoff, who finally got in after 1,000 years. So there aren't a lot of Hall of Fame centers. But yeah, he had a very unique career.
I'm one of those people too, just because of, we had to pick Hall of Famers from that 17 Eagles team. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Jason Kelce, Lane Johnson, Jason Peters.
Yeah, and Jason Peters is an interesting one as well, because I think there's a little bit of Russell Wilson in him. Like at one point, he was a no doubt about it guy.
Then he hung around.
He hung around for so long, I think it hurt him a little bit.
What makes it tough too is like Joe Thomas played in the same era, Trent Williams played in the same era, Tyron Smith played in the same era. It's like, I don't think he was better than Thomas or Trent Williams, but Tyron Smith gets off. I don't think anymore, but I think there was like, that Tyron Smith's going to be a slam dunk, like Peters.
Well, if you look at the Hall of Fame monitor, the only players ahead of Jason Peters are all in the Hall of Fame, with the exception of Jim Tyrer, who I don't know.
How is he not in?
Anthony Munoz. So here's the group. Anthony Munoz, number 1. I think that's everybody would say that. Forrest Gregg, Jim Parker, Willie Roaf, Joe Thomas, your guy, Ron Yari, know very well from my time in Minnesota. Gary Zimmerman, same thing. Bob Brown, former Eagle. Jonathan Ogden.
Very good.
Ron Mix, Walter Jones, great player. Art Shell, Rayfield Wright.
Very good player.
all in the Hall of Fame. Then comes Jason Peters, who is still ahead of Orlando Pace, Tony Baselli, Dan Dierdorf, and Jimbo Corbett, who are all Hall of Famers. So he should be in.
Yeah, by that he's in. By the way, John, you want to feel old, even though I'm not old. When I saw Joe Thomas get in the Hall of Fame, like I was there for his speech. I'm like, wait, what? Like this guy retired in 17.
Well, I'm really hard on I admit that's one of I'm really hard on modern guys. I'm like, some guys get in, I'm like, really? That's a Hall of Famer? Just because I've built up the legend of these Hall of Famers in my mind, and it's probably unfair to some of the younger guys, but I do. Some guys are up. I'm like, this guy's not a Hall.
The year I went, Baselli got in, Thomas, Butler, Leroy Butler got in, Sam Mills, Dick Vermeil's why we went. But yeah, it's like I was shocked because I met a lot of players from that 90s Packers team that week. I had the pleasure of staying in the same hotel as a lot of them, so I got to talk to them for a couple days, and they were like shocked. I said, how did it take this long for Leroy Butler to get in? Like, they put safeties in. That was like a big conversation.
It took Paul Krause 2 decades to get in.
Yeah, and he's the all-time interceptions leader.
Yeah, and like that record's never going to be broken. No. I mean, the current intercept, and I don't even think Harrison Smith hasn't retired yet, but he might retire and he might come back to play one more year. But I think he's the current interception leader all time, and he's in the 30s.
That 90s Packers team, I was talking to a lot of these guys, and there are some names. They don't have that many Hall of Famers. We were kind of laughing about it. Like, they had a lot of good players, but
they were in the 90s. They were carried by the quarterbacks, but they had a lot of good players.
Yeah, they had Brett, they had Reggie White. Seth Joyner wasn't a Hall of Famer. I mean, close, but he was toward the end. But Keith Byers was a good player at one point. Antonio Freeman was a really good player at one point.
Yeah, they're not Hall of Famers.
No, and like it's funny hearing the stories with some of these guys, like your Andre Risons of the world and Mark Jamuras of the world, and football players in the 90s. It was a different animal.
Mark Jamura is a good player, yeah, but it's certainly not a Hall of Famer. The most difficult position is wide receiver. I mean, because the numbers are so drastically changed now.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody, like people say, well, Cliff Branch is in. Yeah, damn right he's in.
Yeah.
And then compare numbers of, I don't know, some good receiver who's not a Hall of Famer, like Henry Ellard. All right.
Yeah, Henry Ellard's a good one.
Even now, Devontae
Harold Jackson.
Yeah, well, Harold was a good player. He sort of borderline. But it's a different game, man.
Yeah. Those
guys dominated in their time.
Brandon Marshall was a good player. He's never getting in the Hall of Fame.
No. God, no. It's, some of these guys are just, even Steve Smith Sr., that's not a Hall of Fame player. I'm sorry. It's not. Good player.
Yeah, he could say he is, but
a Hall of very good. Devontae Adams, not a Hall of Famer in my mind. This is my mind. DeAndre Hopkins, not a Hall of Famer.
What's crazy about Devontae Adams is, though, he's still going strong. He can still boost up the numbers for himself.
Yeah. Well, so can Mike Evans. He's not a Hall of Famer. He will be, but in my mind.
He's going to be because of what those Jerry Rice records he matched.
The best receivers, according to Pro Football Reference's Hall of Fame monitor, Jerry Rice.
Shocker.
Randy Moss, which everybody has one too, and should be. Marvin Harrison, Larry Fitzgerald, then comes T.O.
Marvin Harrison was higher than Larry Fitzgerald.
Yep. Steve Largent, James Lofton, Lance Allworth, Chris Carter, Tim Brown. Those are your top receivers of all time. But here's the thing. They have this, system. It's based on war. It's based on bunch of different things. Hall of Fame probability from basketball, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, they come up with an approximate value and they put a number on it. I'm not going to bore you with the the numbers, but just to give you how good was Jerry Rice? His Hall of Fame monitor number is 311.99.
It's insane.
Number
I'm looking it up
two,
now.
Number 2 is Randy Moss, who I got to cover and is freaking unbelievable, is 150.12. He's number 2. Doesn't even have half of Jerry Rice.
This is my I've been on the, and Torrey Holt can vouch for this. I'm on the Torrey Holt get him into the Hall of Fame committee, and I've always told people he's better than Isaac Bruce. According to this, he's better than Isaac Bruce. He's not in.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think he was better than Isaac Bruce.
Yeah. But he was always listed as the 2, unfortunately, because Isaac Bruce was the 1.
Reggie White, to give you an indication, got a 239.73. I'm just giving you how good was.
Can we have this conversation? Is Myles Garrett going to be better than Reggie White when it's all said and done?
In my opinion, no.
No, I say no, but he's going to be in that conversation.
Miles in the list. Miles
depending on how he ages.
Here's the top defensive ends, which is difficult now because it's edge rusher. Reggie's 1, Bruce Smith 2, which I think everybody would agree with. J.J. Watt 3. Jack Youngblood, phenomenal player. Deacon Jones, phenomenal pass rusher. Michael Strahan, Willie Davis, Julius Peppers, underrated, tremendous player.
Yeah.
Carl Eller, very underrated, awesome pass rusher. Jason Taylor, they're all Hall of Famers. Well, with the exception of JJ, he will be. And then comes Myles Garrett. So he's behind all those guys.
That's nuts.
Well, some of those guys are freaking awesome, but it's the Hall of Fame, not the Hall of Very Good.
Who coined that? The Hall of
I don't know who coined it, but I use it all the time. And I'm in that category because,
yeah.
You know, in my estimation, if I ever got a Hall of Fame vote, I'm concrete on who's a Hall of Famer and who isn't.
I'd be really strict. I'm like, no. And the only way I bend is if some guy makes it. Like, for example, I'll go baseball. I love Barry Larkin. I think Barry Larkin is I thought he was in the Hall very good, but once they got him, I'm like, all right, open the door, Jimmy Rollins, get him in.
I'm glad we went off on this tangent because, to me, I've often said, and I had no idea, but I've often said that, the best week-to-week quarterbacks, which to me is more important than Super Bowls. I know I'm in a very short list, but to me, the game is about greatness is about consistency from week to week to week to week. And from that standpoint, they have the 2 best quarterbacks of all time as Tom Brady and Peyton Manning. And I agree with that.
Yeah. Much as I hate to admit it, I agree with that too. I mean, they were the 2 best. And Aaron Rodgers is 3rd on this, by the way.
And he should be.
Yeah.
Nobody's ever played. That's what I say about Aaron Rodgers. Nobody has ever played the position at a higher level.
I think
him at his height.
I mean, obviously his off the field stuff and his post-football life definitely tarnished his reputation. But man, in the 90s, I don't think there was anybody better than Brett Favre.
I think they got I'm looking at running back. They got Peyton 1, Jim Brown 2. Wide receiver, they got Rice and Moss. Tight end, Gonzalez is 1, Kelce's 2.
Gronk's 3. And Gronk would probably be 1 if he played longer.
Guard, Bruce Matthews 1, Randall McDaniel 2, John Hanna 3. That's a good list.
Alan Fanix 4. That's a really Larry Allen's 5. Yeah, this is a really good list. Zach Martin's getting in, by the way.
Oh God, yeah. Anthony Munoz, Forrest Gregg, Jim Parker. Anthony Munoz is right. Center, Dermontti Dawson. That's fine. Defensive tackle, Aaron Donald. That's right. My guy Alan Page is number 4. Joe Green 5.
You know who's gonna have
Reggie White, Bruce Smith. Inside linebacker Ray Lewis, Mike Singletary. They got that right. Outside linebacker Lawrence Taylor, Derek Brooks. I don't like Derek Brooks is off ball, so that's a
Yeah, he's an off-ball
limitation.
guy.
Great
I
player
get it.
though.
Yeah, I
Great
get
player.
it. Defensive player of the year, right? He was
And then
defensive
they
player of the year.
lump all the DBs together and they go Rod Woodson, Deion Sanders. I'd put Ronnie Lott ahead of them, but whatever. Morton Anderson still the top kicker. I agree with that. I had that discussion with our buddy Jimmy Kempski because his numbers don't hold up in the modern era when everybody's banging through 50. But I tried to explain. I go, in his era, he was so much better than everybody else.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what you're looking at. And the same thing at punter with Ray Guy. Like, all right, now guys dwarf Ray Guy. But he was like by himself.
I mean, Shane Leckler is not in yet. And he was really, Sean Landeta was really good in 2 eras.
Yeah. Johnny Hecker's still going, isn't he?
Yeah, he's still going. He's still going. Yep. I'm like you, John. I like to tell people this. Just admit you didn't watch football when you were a kid or like when you were younger.
Yeah.
Not like you do now. Just admit it. It's fine.
Yeah. I'm like the time machine works both ways. I'm a time machine where everybody likes to say, well, if those guys played today. Well, if these guys played back then, remember, you can't spend $100,000 on your body like Derrick Henry does. You got to go sell insurance in the off season.
I was actually laughing today. I forget what player it was. Might have been an NBA player. I forget. Terry Rozier. They're like, oh man, he's the original Scary Terry. I'm like, no, it's not. It's Terry Allen. Like, get out of here with that.
Yeah, when somebody's got the same nicknames, all right, let's get more inventive.
Yeah. And by the way, that was an actual Scary Terry. Terry Rozier was not scary. Terry Allen was, and he lost both his ACLs.
Oh, the running back, yeah, he was a good player.
He was a good player.
Yeah,
he was like good.
He was like a 9th round pick because of that. That was back in the days when it was a 12-round draft.
Yeah. Were you covering the Vikings when Terry Allen was there?
No, I just missed him. Probably.
So he was in Washington then when he got there.
Yes. Yeah, he was a 9th round pick. I heard about him a lot. A 9th round pick.
I still remember when I was a kid. He had a big touchdown run against the Eagles, and they used like a sweep play. And everybody likes to get on Mike Mamula for missing him. I said, Mike Mamula did not miss him. Mike Mamula was in position. Terry Allen was just good. Got the block and boom.
That's a name from the past. Yeah.
I still don't understand how you can be a draft bust when you have 31.5 sacks too, but
no, he wasn't. Mike Mamula.
He wasn't.
He wasn't.
Yeah.
People don't understand the term bust.
No.
Bust means, Jamarcus Russell. That's a bust.
Ryan Leaf.
If you're a competent NFL player, you're a disappointment as the 7th overall pick. But you're a competent, good NFL player for, what did he play, 5-6 years? That's not a bust.
No. Also, 3rd-round picks aren't bust either.
No, they are not.
Like they're drafted. Like I hear people say Kaylee Ringo's a bust. I'm like, how's he a bust? He was a 4th-round pick.
He's a bust in their expectations.
Yeah, I'm like, you had unreasonable expectations. Oh, by the way, he might be the best gunner in football, but sure, he's a bust.
Yeah. I got to check in with Joe. Yeah. He'll be back at 9:35-ish. So anyway, we'll keep it going as I do stuff on air with Joe Krause. He'll be back in a little bit, but
when's Xander come back from Italy?
He'll be back next week. So
I'm jealous.
I think we have off next Monday. He'll be back Tuesday. Interestingly, so we'll probably check in with you. We're not doing a show Monday. Even though most people are taking off Friday, we're doing Friday and taking off Monday for the 4th of July. So programming note. So we'll check on with you. I have jury duty. I got to find a way to get out of that. So I might be missing. I think it's Tuesday. I think the day Xander comes back, I have jury duty.
Wow.
So that might create an issue as well. Hopefully.
It's a good time of year for our profession to actually have jury duty.
Well, yeah, it's the best. You can, defer it. And sometimes like they have called me in times where like I'm traveling or whatever. And I'm like, look, I can do it in the summer at this time, but boy, I can't stand jury